Good morning and welcome to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition here on 92.9 KVRE, streaming online at kvre.com. I'm Mark Oliver, joined right across the table from me by Tracy Simpson. Tracy, big week in sports this week. How you doing?
Man, I tell you, chomping at the bit, Mark. After last week, a little taste from the college, of course, with an exciting game, across the pond, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got to see any of it, but that was some kind of a game. But also, you've got some high school games that are coming up. And I'm telling you what, me and you have already been to a couple of the preseason little scrimmages and stuff. And I'm telling you, man, I just look at it. I'm getting
goosebumps.
I am, man.
We're just getting started. Hey, football is absolutely in the air, whether it's high school, college, or even the NFL. It's just that time of year that everybody has had circled on their calendar for a long, long time. Let's dive right on in. The NFL preseason is now in the books, and all that stands in the way of the start of the season is just a few short days. The NFL returns this week. Baltimore and Kansas City open up shop on Thursday, followed by Green Bay and Philadelphia on Friday. The Kansas City Chiefs have won back-to-back Super Bowls and 3 of the last 5. Baltimore boasts a healthy Lamar Jackson and a new weapon in running back Derrick Henry. Tracy, the NFL opener, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Who do you have coming out on top?
I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to flip a coin. I'll be honest with you. I don't know if the Chiefs, now I know they didn't, and this is, the preseason was okay. Obviously, they're not playing the starters, but even the backups, I'll be honest with you, for Baltimore, they've got a team. And I know last year they've got the MVP coming back. Now, here's the plan. They've got backups. Now, with the season now, 18 games, plus, all the different, you could play 20 games where it's all said and done easy, right? I think that they've got the guys that are going to make a difference this year, and he's got the support. I think that's the biggest part right there. We know he's going to scramble, but he's healthy this year, and if that MVP can just hold true, I believe that it's maybe just their time as far as on the AFC end of it, okay? Kansas City, on the other hand, I don't know what what the Chiefs can do, but, we'll see what happens with it. Has everybody got their mindset on the ultimate goal? Is there a little bit of a letdown after winning this many Super Bowls? I don't know, Mark.
We had this story last year. Kansas City actually started off very slow last year, looked sluggish in the beginning, and found a way to get it done in the end. Of course, this one's going to be played in Arrowhead. Taylor Swift is most likely going to be up in the box. That is a big crowd to have to deal with because half the fans there are there just to get a glimpse at the biggest pop star in the world right now. I like this matchup. This is likely the AFC Championship game played in week number 1, and I like Baltimore in this one. I am not going to lie. I am choosing the Ravens, even though I live in a house full of Chiefs fans. Love Lamar Jackson. The reigning MVP, I think, is back, and he's healthy, ready to go. I love the addition of Derrick Henry. He has some big help. This is a team that's going to be running the football down teams' throats all season long. I think it starts in week 1. Moving on, Friday, Green Bay and Philadelphia go to battle. Philly added numerous weapons in the offseason, including RB Saquon Barkley, Devontae Smith at wide receiver, and even Dallas Goedert at tight end. Green Bay added Raiders running back Josh Jacobs, but is that enough for Jordan Love to stand a chance against Jalen Hurts and his new bag of toys?
Love's got to learn. Here's something. He's not a rookie anymore, okay, Mark? The thing he's got to learn when to get rid of the ball. There's no doubt about that. His time discrepancy from when he gets the snap to where he goes through his, what they call the roll call, 1, 2, and 3, the progression, so to speak. He's got to fit that. You noticed early in the season last year, his interception ratio was horrible. He picked it up after the latter part of the season and was developing a little bit better style. His coach, the quarterback coach, was helping him with that. But he's got to go through his progression a little bit faster. He's got the weapons. There's no doubt about that. And, of course, he's maneuverable. He can get around the pocket, but he's just like those quarterbacks that you've seen time and time again. He keys in on one receiver and he sticks with him, and then there's a second or two delay. And if he doesn't get rid of the ball, he's getting tackled. And not just tackled. He's a big fella. but he was getting banged up early, and if it just hadn't have been for him being just so tough, Mark, I don't know if he'd have made the whole season. He can scramble, obviously. There's no doubt about that. But I just think that, that his progression rate has to come quicker. It's 1, 2, 3, and then either get rid of the ball or run. You saw this same thing, and I'm going to bring this up a little bit later on with Dak Prescott, a lot. Not going through the progression enough and not getting rid of the ball, thus a sack, or even worse, getting hurt. And we've seen that, and I don't want that to happen to Love. He's a great, not only a great quarterback, but also what he's done for the environment up in Green Bay, working in the public, the PR relationship. Because Green Bay, it's all about family, and it's all about the public there because they own Green Bay. And I just think his progression sheet needs to get a little bit quicker, but I think they got what it takes to be on top. We touched on this last week about that division. If there's anybody that can come out and maybe beat Detroit, is Green Bay, because obviously Minnesota lost their quarterback. But I don't know. I've got to go Green Bay.
I think you're putting a lot of cards towards Green Bay in that one. We'll see if that holds up. I've got Philly in this one. Honestly, I think Philadelphia is likely the last team standing representing the NFC in this year's Super Bowl. We'll see a lot of great weapons.
What about their new running back?
Well, exactly. Saquon Barkley. These are moves that always just completely baffle me, Tracy. Mm-hmm. Having a superstar talent, Barkley, yeah, he's got injury concerns, fine. But a superstar level talent when he's healthy, moving within the same division in the NFC East, it's crazy to me. I don't know how that ever happened, but all it does is it makes Philadelphia stronger. We'll see if Barkley can last a whole season, more games, longer season. We'll see if he can go the distance.
Well,
but if
Mark,
they stay healthy, that's quite the 1-2 punch with Hurts and Barkley.
I just don't. But here's what we're both missing on real quick. What's the key factor, though, in the Philadelphia offense? What have they lost? The guy that handles the ball more than anybody.
Okay, so they've lost to Jason Kelce.
Just to Casey. Oh, come on, really? Just to Kelce? The kid. I mean, that many years in the NFL, that many Pro Bowls, that many Super Bowls. You're okay. Okay.
I get it. Hall of Fame center. I get it. But is that enough to completely derail a team?
Did you see the preseason?
Hey, listen, I was never a lineman, right? Obviously, I never played on the offensive or defensive line ever.
Right.
But you tell me.
I ran behind him, and I know
just how big of a loss is that when you lose a legendary center?
It's huge. You know as well as I do, as many years that we've been announcing, what have I always said? It starts in the trenches.
Sure.
I don't care whether you're running, passing, and now that you got Barkley, you've got to be able to open up those holes, and he controls it. He's the quarterback on the line of scrimmage, and the young man that they brought up, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's good. But does he have the command? Because you talk about on the line, you talk respect. Mm-hmm. They're all equal to a certain degree, Mark. Mm-hmm. I mean, these guys didn't make it to the pros by just happily to get there. You know what I mean? You've got so many athletes that have come up, but I don't know, Mark. I think it all starts right there. In the beginning of the season, it's going to be one of those deals with the new marriage. Now, will the honeymoon be over? Probably about mid-form. And being a Dallas fan, I hope Philadelphia gets kicked.
Well, listen, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, because last week we asked a lot of questions about America's team. And this week,
I'm ready.
Well, those questions really still remain. But there are some good news for fans of Dallas, because wide receiver CeeDee Lamb inked a 4-year, $136 million contract extension this week. It includes a $38 million signing bonus, which is a record for wide receivers. He has $100 million guaranteed. It is incredible. This contract comes after Lamb holds out of training camp awaiting a deal. He led the NFL in receptions last year with 135. He set a team record with more than 1,700 receiving yards, 14 touchdowns, 12 through the air, 2 on the ground. He added some weight this offseason, what he calls body armor, to try to improve his durability throughout the season. And now America waits for the next big contract extension, Mr. Dak Prescott. The season's just about a week away, Tracy. Is a deal coming for Dak or not?
It's done. It's all but done. The rumor's already in Dallas right now. Said it's already a done deal. Now, as far as on ink and paper, no, it's not. But it's in the computer. It's in the work. Those guys have been working. What you don't see in the big picture is both of them working out at the Cowboy facility. I know that they're saying all these rumors and everything, but I'm going to tell you what, these guys know what they're doing. And you know what? They're wanting to get paid what what they think they've earned, what they deserve. And it's all but done. Obviously, and now they're back up. A young man has been in the league now a couple of years. Of course, he got hurt. He's seeing a lot of hours right now and looking pretty good. So is the front office really playing games with them? No. They know they've signed, but it's a matter of
feels like they're playing chess with everybody.
Well, they are. And thinking about it is and like I said, they've been working that number 3 quarterback, both of them, a whole lot. But Dak, man, he's there. He's there for the long run. He knows he has something to prove. The guy's made a lot of money.
I did say there were a lot of questions about Dallas last week, and I said that they weren't answered. That's not entirely true. One question did sort of get answered this week. On Wednesday morning, Dallas adds running back Dalvin Cook, of course, former Minnesota Viking. He played for the Jets last season, was picked up by the Ravens, and led Baltimore to a postseason win last year. Dalvin Cook has the 4th most rushing yards in the NFL in the last 5 years. We had questions. Ezekiel Elliott, is he really the guy? They got rid of him. They brought him back. Is Elliott really the guy? No, looks like Dalvin Cook's going to be the guy. What are your thoughts on the signing?
Well, and that's what we needed. That was one of the pieces of the puzzle. We definitely, because we knew. Now, he's in the formal years, but what he does provide is knowledge, and especially to the young running back that they got from K-State and stuff like that. But even that young man that they've developed, is it TCU or one of the two? But anyway, the kid's only 170 pounds soaking wet. You're not going to go 18 games at full strength and be a number 1 guy. Cook comes in. Let me tell you something. Cook comes in, and he's going to be the key to the offense that, unfortunately, we lost to a Tennessee team. But that's going to be, I think, that he can run behind the line. If you look at the similarities, okay, a lot of the similarities, big, husky lineman that Dallas has always had where he was previously. Then they've got some new kids coming into, two new men that are obviously going to make up for the old-timers that they're trying to get on out of there. But I think that's going to be the key difference, Mark. I think that's what they needed to get the offense in the right direction.
Tracy, one last question for you in our NFL news update. The preseason in the books, 4 teams finished undefeated in the preseason. The Jets, the Jaguars, the Broncos, and the Bears. All 4 teams missed the playoffs last year. Out of those 4 teams, Jets, Jags, Broncos, Bears, which team do you think goes the farthest this season?
Definitely the Jets. Definitely the Jets. I'd love to see the Bears, as you know. I'd nothing better than seeing a rookie come in and be an accomplishment. But as it is right now, the skill level.
Aaron Rodgers is back, right?
That's
Healthy.
what I'm saying. And like we talked about last week, who's got the most TV time? Jets, of all people. Okay, you're talking about a market right there up in New York. And I'm not saying TV persuades things. Yes, it does. But anyway, I believe he makes a difference. He's got the weapons. Even though with him out last year, their defense was substantial. I mean, most of them were close games, even with him not there. This is going to be the difference. Now, is he going to be rusty? Yeah, but I still think you're talking about a guy that's MVP. You're talking about a guy that's been in the Super Bowl. You're talking about a definite leader. Now, he can play it cool, because I know it's one thing to be in Wisconsin, but it's another to be in the Big Apple. He's got to learn to control the public relation, and that's going to be the biggie right there. Obviously, the Big Apple doesn't play, and you know that as well as I do.
Listen, I get it. He's wearing a different shade of green. It's not Green Bay green, but it's still Aaron Rodgers in a green jersey, and it's hard for me to root for the guy. So I'm going to choose the Bears there. Talked about it last week, but the truth is New York's got a really good running back in Hall. Garrett Wilson's stock goes way up with Aaron Rodgers under center. So the AFC East could be a very interesting division with multiple competitive teams for the first time in a long time. We have so much more to talk about on our show this week. When we come back, we're going to take it to the baseball diamond and talk some MLB. Don't go anywhere. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition continues in a moment on 92.9 KVRE.
Second quarter coming up.
Welcome back to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE. With Tracy Simpson, I'm Mark Oliver. NFL talk in the books. Let's talk some baseball. Tracy, it is September. Well, almost. But baseball fans know that in order to get to October, you have to survive September. It's the month where the magic happens. Fires are lit, teams get hot, and for some of the perceived top dogs, dreams are even crushed in the month of September. let's begin with a team that has, at the time of this recording, rose from baseball's literal basement last season to the top of its division this year. That is the Kansas City Royals.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Outside of the Athletics last year, KC had the worst record in baseball a season ago. They lost 106 total games. What a turnaround. Sitting atop the AL Central, tied with Cleveland at the time of this recording, at an impressive 75-58. They have the third best record in the American League behind the Yankees and the Orioles. They've been on an absolute tear the past 10 games. And at one point, the Cleveland Guardians had a 9-game lead in this division. And thanks to three back-to-back head-to-head wins over the Guardians, that lead is now gone. So what has changed for the Royals this season? Well, you've got to give credit where credit is due. It starts with the front office. Trades. Kansas City picked up the right pieces to support sluggers like Bobby Witt Jr. and Salvador Perez, namely veteran third baseman Paul DeJong from the White Sox. He's been destroying baseballs at the plate since being acquired. And also right-handed pitcher Michael Lorenzen coming from the Texas Rangers has also been a very big move. A 1.85 ERA in 5 starts. He's a big part of the reason that this team is 23-13 since the All-Star break, the best in the MLB. How about those Kansas City Royals?
No, I'm telling you, Brett is probably just, taking it all
ecstatic
in right now. You know he is, and hadn't had one fight yet on any of these wins. But you know that this is a tight matchup. I talk about the Central Division all the time. This is one just like you were saying. How could Cleveland? Well, I'll tell you how they could. Just like Seattle did. Seattle did the same thing. The only difference is Seattle hasn't, they fired their manager. Cleveland hasn't done that yet, but
it might be coming.
But that's what I'm saying. And this was taped early, so let's give some rest. But what a division. Cleveland, Kansas City, Minnesota, all of them right there vying for it. And you know as well as I do, you're looking up on top with New York, Baltimore, and then you got Houston and Seattle. Only so many of them can go
That's
to
right.
the wild card.
There's only 3 wild card spots.
So
it's likely that there is not one out of this division.
Exactly.
So this is the biggest September ever. And if, for Cleveland blowing that lead, and now they're tied for first as we're recording this. But there's some turmoil happening in Guardian Land right now, as Kansas City is not only tops of the AL Central, they're one of the best teams in baseball right now in terms of what they've done since these trade acquisitions, since the All-Star break, and it is so much fun to watch the cellar dwellers now standing atop the division. Incredible.
Yeah, and I'm telling you right now, there's nothing exciting about the dog pound right now. They don't even know what quarterback's going to start. So baseball is hit right now.
Yeah.
Baseball is everything right now. They are watching this, and as of right now, and I know we keep saying that, but I'm going to tell you right now, by next week, if you see Kansas City on the tear that they've been having, along with Minnesota coming up, somebody's going to get the card, and it's not the players on the NFL squad that got fired this week.
Well, you think about this. Kansas City won it all back in, I think it was 2019. It's been 5 years or so since they've won it all. And then what happened to this team? Because they had the biggest World Series hangover the following year, and they were one of the worst teams in baseball last year. Just in that short amount of time, they went from the best in the sport to one of the worst in the sport, and now they're back up top. Are they the best in the American League? Absolutely not. But they are right there in the mix, and just as well as I do, September, anybody can get hot, and this is one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. I'd love to see where this story goes, because this is a team with the potential, the momentum, and the internal confidence to upset a big dog when it matters the most.
I think they've got, now here's what I think the best part about it is, I think they got the best complete team is what I'm thinking. And they don't have the long ball hitters. You don't have the judges up from New York and such like that, but they've got consistency not only on the offense, but the defense too. Their rotation, they changed it up. If you noticed, like you were talking about, getting the pitcher from the Rangers and such, which was a I can't believe that move.
It kind of feels like a bad news Bears, just slash Moneyball kind of thing. It's just a bunch of ragtag group of guys that just got thrown together from all other different situations, and they're winning baseball games because of it. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Front office has made the difference, like you were talking about. The trade that they did after winning it was unbelievable. A couple of the players that was on there. Obviously, some of the ones that we're familiar with that played it even at Arkansas or at different teams, but they've come together, like you said. I don't know. We'll come up with some sort of acclimate for it, the Cleveland Bad News Bears, but because they're the traditional, but Kansas City's the real Bears coming up, and I'm telling you, they're playing ball like a big dog bear. I'm telling you right now. So, hey, I'll go with them right now because they just got that stunt through Cleveland, and they just went ahead and took care of them.
There's a lot of guys in that front office in KC that have absolutely saved their jobs. Incredible.
Well, they're getting tired of the Chiefs getting all the notifications. And with the new ballpark coming in.
Oh, yes.
Okay. We've got a whole new area that they're buying. And supposedly the whole new situation. So if you don't think that they don't want some money in on that, because when Arrowhead Stadium leaves, hey, I'm telling you, you know where they're going to put the money? Well, guess what? It's for a team that's won how many Super Bowls now? Yeah. Okay.
Elsewhere in the MLB, the AL East is as close can be between Baltimore and New York. The big story right now, it has to be the New York Yankees. They're undoubtedly the super slugger Aaron Judge, who entered Wednesday with 51 home runs on the season, is on pace to end up with 62 bombs in 2024. He already has the AL record, which is 62. He set that already. Barring something catastrophic, Judge is likely to win his second AL MVP in 3 years, and it really goes beyond home runs. He leads the MLB in RBI, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and wins above replacement. And whether you're a Yankees fan or not, I'm not, we're actively witnessing greatness, and it could possibly be the piece that sends New York to its first title since 2009. How do you feel about Aaron Judge?
Well, not just Judge, though, and because look, there's no iron team. Hello. Okay, enough with that one right there. But as it is, Baltimore just keeps hanging around, and the reason being is because team effort. Well, guess what? You got a couple of guys on the team also. Stanton, what's the guy in front? Oh, yeah, Soto. Mm-hmm. So what did they do the other night? Back to back to back. All right, so you don't pitch to Judge. So what do? You pitch to the other guys? All right, you're talking about a guy that's the quickest ever to 300 home runs. The quickest ever, okay?
Right.
History books, boom, it's already in ink, right? So now you go, who do you pitch to? All right, you've even got the number 9 hitter, the bottom of the barrel, that's got 26 home runs. So
that's right.
What do you do? Okay. Well,
you can only intentionally walk so many before they start scoring.
You just hit somebody with pinstripes on as your pitcher. That's what you do.
Tracy, this is a family show. Why are you talking about this?
That's the way they get one base is what they get. But I'm just telling you right now, they're tough. But Baltimore still, and that's going to be between the two. Obviously, Boston, Tampa Bay, Toronto, they're out of it. And so I don't know. I don't see New York. Gosh, here we go again talking about a team in the Big Apple.
That's a race to the finish for sure.
Go to the National real quick.
Let's go to the National League, where the Wild Wild West appears to be living up to its name. The Dodgers have the best record in baseball, 78-54. That's a .591 winning percentage. But even despite that, they are still clinging to the NL West division lead, with Arizona and San Diego hot on their coattails. This is what September is all about. And certainly all eyes are going to be watching this division race closely. All 3 teams can make the playoffs. Yes. But there are some outliers out there looking to play spoilers, such as the Cubs and the Mets, who are currently on the outside looking in. The NL West, where we said this before, looks like this one's going to be really fun to watch this year in September.
I'd like to see, and we have so many around this region, Mark. Obviously, the Cubs and what's that other team? The Cardinals. Oh, yeah, right. But you're talking sub 500, okay? Now, sub 500 team, is that what you really want in the playoffs? I mean, look at Arizona coming back after last year's disappointing loss. I mean, one out in the 11th inning from winning it all. Okay, now that's the sort of, if you want to call comeback kids. And then the Padres. Well, if you recall, at the very first of this season, it all started with who? The Dodgers and Padres playing where? Over in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see. I'm not a Padres. I'm certainly not a Dodger, but you've got the MVP there sitting. No pitching this year, strictly just hitting the ball and doing it well.
Look what they're doing without Shohei Ohtani pitching. They're still incredible out there. It's unreal. Of course, a very large market team with a very large payroll, but this has been a really remarkable story for LA, who is somewhat quiet out there in the National League because Philadelphia has garnered so much attention with what it's done. We haven't talked about Philadelphia or Milwaukee or Houston like we talked about. 3 teams that feel like they're going to run away with their divisions at this point. Is there any hope for the Mariners to overtake Houston? We hope so. I hope so. There's probably Astros fans listening. I'm sorry. But also in the NL Central, can the Cubs overtake the Brewers? Maybe not. But as far as 3 big divisions that we talked about here.
No, I'm sorry, Cubbies. I'm sorry.
We've got 3 divisions here that are extremely close heading into the final month of the regular season. Guys, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, Bryce Harper, I think, makes a difference when he went up there, and sure enough, he's having an all-star year, of course, but you're seeing his colleagues circle around him, and the big difference up in Philly right now. And by no means am I a Philly fan. I know the sister of brotherly love, but I got news for you. I have no love for anybody in Philadelphia, especially if you're an Eagle. So we'll leave it at that.
That's a major football love right there. You don't even root for him in other sports.
It doesn't matter. But, hey, they threw snowballs at Santa Claus. Okay, really? All right, we'll leave that.
When you drive to New York, do you willingly go out of the way so you don't even drive into Pennsylvania?
I will take 10 toll roads. 10 toll roads to bypass that any time at $100 a lick. I don't care. But still, though, you and I, we talked about this months back. Philadelphia looks much the best over there. Los Angeles, we used to say this about New York. It's the best money that they can buy players. It's just that simple, and they've spent a ton of it. It's a tough league. So
hey, and
we'll see what happens.
I don't feel I should say I feel bad for whoever has to do MVP voting in both leagues because we're really in a great era of baseball right now that probably doesn't get a lot of attention with the superstars that we have. I know like in the 90s and the early 2000s, we had some really big names that all end up in the Hall of Fame. I feel like we're there again right now, and we're really just seeing these guys mid-development. Some of these guys may not even be in their prime yet. Players like Judge are for sure. Right. But the level of talent, the level of just efficiency, and really the way that in this game that's more than 100 years old, we're still finding ways to break records. Thousands of guys have played this game, and we're still finding guys doing things for the very first time. It's really fun to see.
And speaking of first times, I talked about this earlier in the week, Mark, and I was going to first time ever this has ever happened.
I know what you're going to tell me.
And with Danny Jansen.
How
about that?
All
right. The only player in history ever to play in the same game for 2 different teams. Unbelievable, huh?
Yeah. Like I said, things happening in this sport that you could, the game is delayed.
In Toronto.
Delayed when he's a member of one team. And then when they resume the game, he's already on the other team. He's traded to the other team. And then I believe, oh gosh, I'm going to get this wrong. Because he was a pinch hitter.
He was a catcher. He was a backup catcher for Toronto and pinch hitter. So he got in.
That's correct.
Got in. Weather postponed it. And then the trade deadline came, and he gets shifted over to Boston. And sure enough, he
ends up being the pinch hitter for the same at-bat that he was actually catching for in the previous game.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't make this up.
This is, only in the MLBs. Yeah, sure enough, it happened because even in football, you don't pick up anybody.
I feel sorry for whoever has to score that at-bat as well.
Coming from a person that's a numbers guy, yes, I can only imagine that. But okay, good stuff.
We continue to roll right along on this week's show. We have so much more to come to when we come back. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition continues in a moment on 92.9 KVRE.
Third quarter coming up.
Welcome back to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. And for the third quarter of today's show, Tracy, we'll start by congratulating the winner of our final Arkansas Travelers Family 4-pack giveaway, Mr. Destin Fields, cheering on the Trav, the greatest show on turf. Congrats, Destin. Of course, thank you to everybody who tunes in and chimes in all season long. As we talk about the Arkansas Travelers, Tracy, my 2 boys had a great opportunity last week to attend the combined Arkansas Travelers Youth Foundation and Memphis Grizzlies baseball-basketball combo camp. And I will begin by issuing an apology to Travelers catcher superstar Harry Ford. Harry Hey, it's Mark. My son is River Oliver, and he's the guy with the short kind of blonde hair with the stunner shades that gave you nothing but problems at camp. I apologize that my 6-year-old tried to fist fight you. I don't know what got into him. He's kind of like that sometimes. We call him a wild card. Hope he didn't take it too personally.
Okay.
But
a little spunk in him there, doesn't he?
I say all this in jest. Listen, we all know
mini
River.
Hannah.
we all know River. But to be told, truth be told, it's because he was having so much fun cutting up with the guys. His second time getting to meet Harry Ford. He was at the last Travelers Youth Camp, the one that was in Hot Springs. This was an incredible outing for our youngsters in Little Rock last Saturday, and so many attended the camp, and want to say special thank you to the Memphis Grizzlies, who took the trip all the way from Tennessee and came and ran an excellent combo camp with basketball, had some NBA superstars there, the Grizz girls dance team was there, and you could tell all the smiling faces. They were really great with working with the kids, helping develop them into better athletes for their respective sports. Can't say enough good things about the Travelers Youth Foundation and what it continues to do and the partnerships that it makes, not only in the Little Rock community, Central Arkansas, but the whole state.
Well, and once again, Mark, this is something that I think is so important, not only to the community, but to the kids and such. When you get to see, it's one thing having these different programs around the region, but when you got major athletes, I mean talking professionals, that's when you tune in. That's when you listen, because the success is there. High school, college, and such, and older coaches and stuff is one thing for these camps. But when you've got professionals that are there, that's somebody that has proved that they earned to be where they're at. And the knowledge is there. And I just can't say enough to thank you, like you were talking about. This is what makes it so important, especially to the kids that may not have the benefit of somebody taking them there, Mark. And that's what I think is so important to the programs and the camps like that. You see a lot of kids. I was one of those ones, man, when I was little. I got to, drive along with somebody else or whatever, and it was so important to go to those camps. Some other dad driving us there, or our mom and such like that. And my mom worked a lot, and she did drive us to a lot of stuff. But, it was one of those deals where sometimes it was tough to get to these camps, but with the professionalism and the way they ran these camps, I got to tip my hat right now, Mark. Plus the way it was run too. Mm-hmm. You're talking about top notch.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I love hearing great stories like that. You were there. You saw the amount of kids that were there, and just how they took everything in.
Just like a well-oiled machine, it ran perfectly, high energy. Kids can still, even it's a week later, they still cannot stop talking about the people they met, the players they met, celebrities in the sporting world for sure. And just like you said, Tracy, hey, I was one of those kids as well. I grew up with a disabled mother in a single-parent household. If it wasn't free, I wasn't there.
No.
I couldn't go. So these kind of camps are so instrumental. If things like that didn't exist for me whenever I was a youngster, then who knows? I wouldn't be in sports talk radio, and I wouldn't be a sports announcer today. So these are laying the foundations and the building blocks to create a new generation of student athletes all across the natural state.
Mark, where did they have that at?
This was at the North Heights Recreation Center in North Little Rock, and it's a wonderful facility there, and can't say enough good things about the staff there that was super helpful in getting it all set up and ready to go.
That's where I was in my first draft. My mom had some health complications. I was with my grandma and my grandpa, and I went to North Heights Elementary.
Okay.
And the first year that they opened up North Heights, that's where I got my draft to play in Pee Wee football in the 3rd grade. That's where I played football. The very first time was at North Heights Recreational Facility.
Yep.
I still have my card to get in the door. And
it's a gym right there in North Little Rock.
Right there. I mean, right off Pike Avenue. And sure enough, 47th Street in North Heights.
Yep.
I'm telling you. And so I got to, and I'm going to commend you too, though, because I've seen what you've done with your boys. And straight out from what I did with my boys, and making the track over there's no easy track at all. But for you to go over there and to be able to share that with your boys. That's something you guys will be talking about forever.
Oh, yeah. We went out for ice cream after. It was a great time. Let's switch gears.
Ice cream?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, next time you come too. You come too, okay? Let's switch gears. A little National Park College news for you. Hey, there's a new face, a new head coach for cross country and track and field over at NPC. Mr. Mike Prince, Coach Prince, joins Nighthawk Nation this week after a lengthy career in cross country and track and field, coming out of retirement to join Nighthawk Nation and to lead this group of young men and young ladies to hopefully the first NJCAA Region 2 championship in their respective sports. Also, men's soccer and women's soccer underway, the regular season getting started. And Tracy, the men's soccer team is off to a great start to the season, 2-0 this year. Both of those wins are come from behind, and the biggest one came last Sunday on the road in Mississippi as NPC downs the number 12 team in the nation, Mineral Area College. Coach Corey Irvine's Nighthawk men off to a great start towards its goal of winning a national championship this year.
Mark, this is something I'm going to cut you in half right here real quick, because I'm going to tell you what, from the days of old with Garland County Community College to right now, I'm still in awe. I'll be honest with you. And for you to be the SID there, I'm just like going, what in the heck? This is so special. First basketball, baseball, softball, track and field. I mean, the list keeps going on and on and
yes,
on.
It does.
And just like we talked last Saturday, they moved into the new facility now, and this is an excitement. This is encouraging, not only for NPC, and I got to applaud them and you guys that are working so hard over there, but also for the community that has welcomed all these different players. And I'm going to say this, from around the world now.
Yes, that's
Not
right.
Not just locally, but from around the world.
That is right. Yeah, tons of international students, especially in our soccer programs and our baseball program. And they're the most respectful young men and women that I've met. Not that the American-born student athletes are not, but well, when you get that mix of culture and you get to really just sit down and interact with these young men, these young ladies, you see, wow, you get some really different world perspectives for you. In talking about soccer, of course, the men and women's soccer teams are back in action Sunday at Hot Springs World Class High School. They'll take on St. Charles Community College. Women begin at 2 p.m., men at 4 p.m., and the games will be streamed live by yours truly at np.edu/live. For the women's soccer team, this is a rematch of last year's Region 2, South Plains District Tournament Championship, where the winner went on to the national tournament. So NPC looking for some revenge on the women's side, and the men looking to take down another nationally ranked opponent en route to a 3-0 start to the season.
Hey, Mark, real quick, now, and you get busy, okay? I know you get busy, not just with your kids, but with your work. If people are listening in, is there a site that they can go to if they want to, whether it's soccer or whether it's, whatever the occasion, whatever sport and event? Is there a website they can go to take a look?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of the athletics are found in one easy spot. That's np.edu/athletics. We also have game day posts on game days on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, and X or Twitter. And of course, on YouTube, you can search National Park College. The live streams are always free. And we always leave them up if you can't catch them live during game time. And of course, a lot of international families, they're watching all hours of the night overseas. And boy, do they turn in large numbers. We've already had two or three home soccer broadcasts, and the results have been incredible. The number of views have been incredible. People are itching to get back into Nighthawk athletics this season, and we're still just at the tip of the iceberg.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what I was talking about earlier about community, Mark. This is something, if you've ever gone abroad across the pond, or even in Mexico or something, the culture is so different. And then when they come here to Hot Springs, and which we've got a melting pot here a lot, but the culture is so different, and just to see the explosion out there at NPC, it's really cool.
All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little high school football. We know you've been waiting. We didn't forget about you. Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition continues in a moment on 92.9 KVRE.
Fourth quarter coming up.
Welcome back to Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition on 92.9 KVRE. With Tracy Simpson, I'm Mark Oliver. Now the moment that I'm assuming a lot of you waited for. Let's talk a little high school football. Tracy, it's back. Friday night lights are turned on and fan bases are turned up for their favorite teams this fall. Week 0 already in the books. Week 1 coming up this week. And we've got some really good matchups coming up this week that I know that fans are wanting to hear about here. We'll start with a 4A team, Bauxite, one of Saline County's rising stars coming into this season, touted for a very deep playoff run. They're going to have a trip down to Monticello this week. We've got Magnet Cove taking on a very tough Fordyce Redbugs team this week, and Cutter Morning Star on the road at Poen this week. Out of those 3 matchups, Tracy, which is a team that's on your radar this fall?
Cutter, definitely Cutter. Don't get me wrong. I love every one of these matchups. I'll be honest with you, but Cutter right now. We've talked about the team and the resurgence of what it's over for the Eagles, and for them to be back to 11-man, and with the leadership that they have with their new coach and with their quarterback play. And, of course, I'm interested because Fountain Lake's going to be playing them down the road. So I think we need to keep an eye on Cutter right now. I think they've got a chance to be able to make some impact in that conference.
We talked to Coach Nick Finley earlier this summer in our summer football preview show, and of course, with a superstar at quarterback and their return to 11-man football this fall, there are going to be a lot of eyes over on that brand new Eagle facility over there at Cutter Morning Star. Of course, like you said, Fountain Lake's got Cutter down the road this season. One of the teams that I was going to pick was Bauxite, with Marcus Wimberly leading the show over there, and a lot of attention on that minor squad. The Cobras have to go to the pit later this year, so that's another team that I'm going to be watching very closely throughout the season to see, do they live up to the hype? We'll see. There's still games to be played for that story to develop out. Here's some more matchups for you in week 1 this week. Bismarck travels down to Mineral Springs. Mountain Pine is at Dirks, and Lake Hamilton has a home game against Little Rock Southwest.
Let's back up just a little bit because I was curious. Magnet Cove, of course, stepping up.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Fordyce also stepping up, and of course coming off a couple of years of state championship. But last year, even in their new conference and such, I listened to them relatively a whole lot. Okay, because one, it's on my way down to deer camp, and so I get to catch them when we're not doing it. But in the playoffs last year, I listened to a whole lot, and they put Prescott on their heels, the Curly Wolves, which are always tough. And you got a resurgent down there. I tell you what, Redbugs are resurging right now. And there's a lot of mystique about Fordyce, which maybe if you're not familiar with this area, 1 or 2 coaches that have come through there through the years, but there's a mystique going on right there. And I just think that that's the team that out of our little region right now that we need to be watching for, because they have what it takes to, even in the new conferences that they're in. I wish the best for, don't get me wrong, Magnet Cove, but something's in the air down in Fordyce. I'm not sure what it is, but getting back to Bauxite also, Mark, you guys listen to her when we play Bauxite, because the sound might not be just as good because we call the game from. Well, we just say
from the stands.
From the stands. Okay,
from the stands.
Just call it like it is.
Hey, and they said they were building new bleachers just for us.
Just for us.
And I expect to have a plaque with Mark Oliver and Tracy Simpson on it. It may not happen. You mentioned Prescott. That's another team I'm thinking about is Bismarck. They're going to be in the same conference this year. Bismarck had a great run last year. They're on the road at Mineral Springs this week. And Glen Rose has lost a lot of players coming into this year. So I may not necessarily have Glen Rose as high on my radar in this conference. So I'm looking at Bismarck and Prescott head-to-head for the conference championship potentially. And, of course, a really big playoff seed. I also mentioned Mountain Pine. Had a chance to see the Red Devils against Baptist Prep. They played a preseason game down at OBU in Arkadelphia. Mountain Pine looks really strong in its return to 11-man football this fall as well. Some more matchups this week. Lakeside taking on Sheridan. That's Coach Kevin Kelly's Sheridan Yellow Jackets. Hot Springs is at Arkadelphia. Mount Ida versus Spring Hill.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the resurgence like you're talking about. When we talk of Lions, of course, being locally here, we think of Jessville, but you're right, Bismarck. I mean, anytime you've got a coach and his son, I mean, there's always the big difference right there. We saw it work over with the Beavers, okay?
Yes.
Okay, we know how that relationship worked. But not just his son playing, but Bismarck's loaded this year. I'll be honest with you. I saw one of the preseasons. They are loaded this year and have got what it takes to be competitive. And like you said, Glen Rose is down. Jesseville's resurgent. Even Perryville had a good preseason. So that is a conference that I think that we really need to be keying in on. I think that that's going to be a fun conference to watch, and I can't wait for that one. I'm talking about Mountain Pine coming back. What is going on? The numbers are unbelievable.
Hey, that's the benefit of 8-man football. I know when your team drops down to 8-man, you're like, oh no, what is happening? What is happening to this program? Look at Mountain Pine. Look at Cutter. Even look at Fountain Lake and what it did to not only save their program and keep football, but now look at their numbers. They're all 3 back in 11-man this fall. Big time
back also. And we want to wish the best of luck to all those teams this year. It's nothing better than seeing the resurgence of that. And it's just, there's nothing, when you got to play, man, that's great because, you don't want to limit the kids to just having to do something else if they love football, or even worse, going to another school. But being back to 11, man, it just shows that there's something in the air, just like I'd be repetitive, something going on with those teams also and those schools too. So congratulations to the coaches, to the staff, and to all the members, and to the kids on every one of those teams.
And a renewed sense of pride for not only the sport, but the program, the school, and the community as well. Last matchup we're going to talk about is the one that we saved for last intentionally. Fountain Lake Smackover. The Coach Richardson era begins for Fountain Lake and its return to 11-man football. And maybe while the big story in this matchup is Buckaroos transfer quarterback Mitchell Polk from El Dorado, the Cobras spread offense behind Cooper Bus has been generating a lot of excitement in Cobra country, and I think fans could be in for quite the air raid Friday at Allen Tillery Field.
Mark, we may be going into the late evening on this game with the amount of throws that are going to be here. I'm telling you, the air, and you know as well as I do, the play's called dead after the ball incomplete, but we may be there late because the Buckaroos are going to wing it. Fountain Lake's definitely going to wing it if they did anything like they did with Hope and throwing over 300 yards. What? Did I say over 300 yards?
There's my goosebumps. You got yours in the beginning. There's mine right there. Hey, we start our 15th season on the microphone calling Fountain Lake Cobras football right here on 92.9 KVRE. Make sure to tune in to the morning show Friday morning with the Coach's Corner. We're going to have our first featured Cobra player of the week.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Wow, man.
It's here. And then, of course, Friday night, we'll have the pregame show. I believe 6:30 is when we're going to go online. And then at 7 o'clock kickoff. And we are so stoked. Get the press box ready, guys, because I've been waiting all season for this moment.
They got a new amplifier up there, too, Mark, by the way.
Boy.
The new sounds, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, when you touchdown Cobras, oh, my goodness, and maybe a few holy cows. But, yeah, we're pumped up, gang. I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun season. And don't look. If you're looking for something, get it ready because at 6:30, we're going to be kicking it.
That's our show, Sports and Shorts Tailgate Edition. You can catch us every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. right here on 92.9 KVRE. He's Tracy Simpson. I'm Mark Oliver. Great show. We'll see you next week.
Fourth quarter, we're out.